back again. Hey everybody, welcome back to Kay's Corner. It's been a while. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of put YouTube on pause for a minute because, junior year kind of was a lot more stressful than I thought it would be. So I was like, do I have time to do YouTube or do I need to ace this test? So I chose school over YouTube. I know, lame, whatever. But I'm back, y'all. Hey. Alright, so today, I think I'm going to do a story time. I'm gonna talk to y'all about a situation that happened to me, maybe it was earlier this year, around April. Was Easter? Yeah, April, because Easter was in April. Okay, so I know the YouTube world, the beauty world, the hair world, the entire world is buzzing about frontals. Like, frontals are the new thing. Like, they have just completely changed the weave game, like that. So this is in April, so like the frontal thing was kind of new, fresh to like the world, and I was like, ooh, I want to try a frontal. I've never tried a frontal before. I've always just done weave with leave outs. So tell me why. I go on Instagram and I'm like looking at all these hair videos. It seems poppin', everything seems perfect. I'm like, ooh, I'm on board with frontals. Mind you, I've only seen the videos of the after product. I've never seen like the process of it getting done. I never saw like how they like applied the frontals to know like if it's the right way of doing it or the wrong way of doing it. So I'm like looking, I see my friend get her hair done and I'm like, oh my God, her frontal is bomb. Like, I need that in my life. That's the kind of frontal work I want done. Like, I don't want that stuff where you can still see the parting and all that jazz. Like, I'm not for that. If I'm gonna like spend the money and get a frontal and get it installed, I want it to look bomb. Like, it better look like it's coming from my scalp type of thing. So I'm like, oh, where'd you get your hair done? And my friend gives me this girl's Instagram. I'm not gonna name names because I don't know who's watching. And I'm just gonna, it's a story time. So we're gonna keep it just like, we're gonna make up names, okay? So I asked my friend, Joanne, let's call her Joanne. I asked Joanne, oh, where did you get your hair done? It looks so good. That frontal looks amazing. I'm like asking her about the hair she got. I'm asking her about who did the frontal. I'm asking how much it costs. And then she told me $199. And I'm like, okay, I paid $200 to get my regular hair done with just basic leave out. So $199, that's not bad. That's good. I could do that. So I'm like, okay, I want to get it done. She shows me her Instagram. I'm looking at this hairstylist. We'll call her Felicia. We'll call her Felicia. I'm looking at Felicia's hair page and everything looks perfect. Like, her frontals are bomb, her customization's bomb, like everything is bomb. It looks like A+ work, like perfect. Like, yes, I need this in my life. I need my frontal to look like this. I want my hair to look like this. And at the time, she was the only person that I knew that could like do it and was close by, like lived in the same city as me. So I'm thinking, okay, I just saw her work on my friend. Like, this is perfect. Like, I've already seen the work. I've seen it done on a friend. A friend recommended me. This should be good. So I set up an appointment. I had to pay a $25 deposit to secure my appointment or whatever. And I never had to do that with like a professional hairstylist that actually owns a salon or is in a salon. So I was like, okay, that's the first of me hearing about that. But you know what? I'm still gonna do it because her work's bomb. I wanna do it. And this was right before Easter, guys. Like, y'all know Easter Sunday, you're supposed to come looking bomb, fine as hell. Like, you're supposed to be stunting on everybody Easter Sunday. And I was like, ooh, I got this curly hair. I'm about to be popping. I'm gonna be better than everybody. I was all up in my, like, I'm gonna slay type of attitude, right? So, Easter. So, this is 2 days before Easter. So, I got it done on Friday, and it was gonna be Easter Sunday I was gonna get it done for. So I got it done on Friday. I met up with the girl, and then she said she was a traveling hairstylist. So I thought she was gonna come to me in my house, but then that didn't work out. So she wanted me to come to her house. And so I was like, I don't really know this girl. I've only communicated to her through Instagram. So I'm kind of like scared. awkward. So I brought my best friend with me, my best friend Amber. And just for the purpose of this video, so you can fully understand, Amber is white, full-on Caucasian, knows nothing about, well, she takes out my weave sometimes because she's like that kind of best friend, but she knows nothing about like how a weave is installed, what to look for, if it looks good or if it looks bad. That we're gonna talk about that later. Okay, anyways, so where was I at? I lost my point. Oh, okay, so she's like, okay, here's the address. I'm like, okay, so I drive over there with my friend. I have my hair ready. I actually dropped the frontal off to her a day before so she could customize it and everything. So then I saw the frontal when I got in her house, and it was so bomb. I was like, oh my God, yes, like this is about to be good. Like this frontal looks amazing. Like the customization was bomb. The baby hairs were bomb. Like everything was just A+. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going good. This is a good start, you know? I'm thinking, okay, this is about to be good. So then I bring my friend in the house and I'm like, okay, where are we gonna do my hair? Because like it's a house, I don't see a room to actually like style and where all the weave stuff is. First of all, she gave me attitude because my friend came. She's like, oh, I don't really like people going up in my house, and I didn't know your little friend was coming in front of my friend. I was like, well, I'm sorry, I didn't really know you, so I just wanted to bring somebody with me, you know? Like, this is my best friend, like, I'm sorry, my bad. But then the thing is, like, if you don't like people coming up in your house, how you let your clients get their hair done, and you haven't even met me, and I'm in your... Besides the point, anyways. So she gave my friend attitude. We were just sitting on the couch. It was really awkward. She just disappeared. And so I'm just sitting on the couch like, okay, where'd you go? And then her sister comes out and like, it's just awkward. I'm just sitting here like, okay, yeah, I've never been through this before. I'm low-key bougie. I'm used to like salons and like going into your appointments and your hairstylist. There's a hair equipment, there's hair dryers, it's a salon setup, so it's not awkward if you're just chilling there with your friend. And you can bring whoever you please. So, I'm just chilling on her couch. She comes out of the garage, and she's like, okay, let's take you back. And I'm thinking, back? Okay, so then she did my hair in her garage. And, you know, it doesn't matter where it was done at, but the setup is what I was, like, tripping off of. Because she had one little hair dryer in, like, the back of her garage, and then there was just a seat and like a little tray of hair stuff, and then everything else was like boxes in the garage. And I'm thinking, okay. And then there was not that much light in there. It was just one little light, like one little lamp. So I'm thinking, how are you supposed to see what you're doing if there's not that much light anywhere in this place to get my hair done? So I was like, you know what, you're gonna go with it. The frontal looks good. Like maybe she's just one of them like bomb stylists that works it out in her garage. Like no judgment there, you know what I mean? So I'm all like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and get this done. I sit down, she starts braiding me up. She was really like, I'm very tender-headed, like I'm a crybaby when it comes to getting my hair braided. And she was like soft, she was smooth, it was like I wasn't hurting. It's like, okay, we're on a roll here. Like we're doing something good, because 90% of the time hairstylists be ripping out my edges, ripping out my scalp, and I feel like, you know, what was the point of even getting a weave? I ain't gotta have no hair after. So like I just, tender-headed, man. Anyways, but everything seemed to be going great, and I was like, all right, cool. Well, great-ish with the terms and conditions that I was in. And so my best friend was sitting on the dryer. She's just watching it go down. And I noticed that the garage reeked of weed. Like, reeked of weed. And I'm thinking, is she high while doing my hair right now? Like, I mean, I don't really want to smell all this while I'm getting my hair done. Like, I don't want my weave smelling like weed. Like, I come home to my parents' days and be like, what was you doing? And I'm like, oh, sorry, Dad, I was lit, you know? No, I didn't want none of that. So I was just kind of like off-put by the smell because of how bad it smelled in the garage. And then I saw the blunts and I was like, okay, it makes sense. And she kept randomly disappearing. I didn't think it was to go smoke, because anytime she'd come back, she smelled just like a fresh blunt. Anyways. So she's braiding up my hair, it's going smooth, she's going fast, and then out of nowhere, another client comes, and I'm like, okay, she double booked, it happens, you know, whatever. And so she's like, okay, I need to fix this girl's frontal real quick, so how about you sit over there and like wait. And I'm like, okay, cool. So she's getting in there, she's fixing the girl's frontal, But then she stops and she's like, gets a phone call. And then I'm thinking, okay. So she gets a phone call from her dad or somebody and they needed her to go someplace. She left. She left her client sitting in the chair and left me sitting in another chair and was like, I'm gonna be back real quick. I'm gonna just go do something real quick for my dad. I'm thinking, oh, okay, like, how long are you gonna leave me sitting in your house? I'm a stranger. I don't know this other person. You don't know us, and we're just chilling, sitting in the garage, like, and there's barely any light. So I'm just like, you know what? You already halfway done. You already here. Might as well just stick it out. I waited legit 40 minutes. I waited 40 minutes for her to get back. And I was just like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, what on earth is she doing? Like, how like rude and unprofessional is this? You leave me sitting in the chair and you leave your other client sitting in the chair. You said you'd be right back and it's 40 minutes later and I'm texting you, where are you at? And you're like, I'm on my way back. So another 10 minutes passes and then she finally arrives again. And I'm kind of like, okay, that was like weird as hell. Like, what the heck? And so she fixes the other girl's hair. And then she used, at the time I didn't know that this is what you did for frontals. And now that I know, I don't really approve of this method. I don't approve of this message. Get it together, Kayla. I don't approve of that method because it's been done on me and I just did not appreciate all the stickiness that it took to get out of my edges. And I felt like my edges were just gonna be ripped right out. So, okay, reverse. So she like gets her makeup kit out and it's like this Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. And I'm like, I use that. All right, you know, whatever. And she takes his stocking cap. Well, not even a stocking cap, the pantyhose. She takes pantyhose and she's like dabbing the contour on it. And I'm like, okay, I've never seen this before, but you know, we're gonna work it out. Like, all her other work looks good. The lady who just left looked good. So she puts the pantyhose and she puts it on my head and she sews it on the back part of my head. And then the front part, at the time I did not know what this stuff was and what it was and that it even existed. But she used a Got To Be Glue free spray on my head. And I just felt this cool stickiness slap right down on my head. And I'm thinking, I've never seen this before. But you know what? Just give it a chance. Don't be judgmental, Kayla. Like, this is how people get their hair done all the time. Like, you're fine. So I'm seeing this and she's sticking the cap and blow drying it and sticking the cap and blow drying it and spraying me some more. And then with the Got To Be Glue, gelling back my edges into the cap and just kept doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm getting a little suspicious at this point because of where the cap is placed. And like, I felt a really big tightness on my forehead and I'm like, okay, I don't think this is normal. So I text my white best friend who's sitting in the chair watching the whole thing be done. And there was no mirrors, by the way, so I couldn't see anything that was going on. I was blind in this whole process. I did not know what was I did not know what was happening in my head. I could not see anything. Only my best friend could see. So I texted her, I said, how is it looking? She says, oh, it looks good. I said, okay. So then the stylist takes the frontal. She takes the frontal, places it on the stocking cap, and does the Got To Be Glue process all over again. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, frontal's on. It's about to look bomb. Like, I saw the customization. It's about to be popping. I'm about to slay. It's about to be perfect, right? No. 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 No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. Just no. So she glues the frontal on, and then she said she does not use glue, but okay, I'm sorry, Got To Be Glued is glued. It has the name on it. It's glue, okay? It's a form of glue. It's just not permanent or like as strong as the other glues are, but that mess is glue, okay? It's glue. So she glued the frontal onto my head or whatnot and then sewed the back. So now she's like sewing the tracks on and she's like going fast. I had 3 bundles and she like doubled them up or whatever. And she like, I think she sewed in my tracks in like 10 minutes. I was like, whoa, I've never had this done that fast before. So I was shook. So I go and she's like, okay, you're done. Because it was curly hair, so she didn't have to style it. She just put some product on it. I was like, okay, you're good. And I was like, okay, sweet. She's like, do you want to go? Oh, wait, ooh. I missed a big part of the story. I told her, because at one point in time I had to go to the bathroom. This was when she was sewing on tracks on my head. So I went in the bathroom and I saw the frontal, and I'm like, I don't think this is right. It's too close down on my forehead. I can feel it like it's too far down. So I come back and I'm like, is there any way you could fix this? It's like too far down. And then she said, oh no, we can't fix it that way. Or I can at least, I'll try to adjust it a little bit, but we can't because you have hair there. I said, what do you mean? She's like, you have hair there. I'm like, no, my hairline starts back here. I have a big forehead. My hairline starts back here. She's like, I know, but you still have hair there. I'm like, okay, I don't really understand. I don't understand this frontal process. So I didn't argue. I was like, okay, just fix what you can, fix what you can. So she attempted to fix it, but really it looked the same as it did when I complained about it the first time. So she sews my bundles in. It's all good to go. I'm asking Amber, I'm texting my best friend, like, hey, how's it look? How does it look? Does it look good? She's like, yeah, it looks great. Like, you look really good, blah, blah, blah. Hyping me up. So I'm like, okay, maybe she did fix it. Maybe this will work. Maybe it looks normal and I'm just tripping because I've never had a frontal, so I don't really know what it's supposed to look like. I just see what I see on Instagram, and I'm like, okay, sometimes it never works that way. Like, it's Instagram. It's not gonna be like real life expectations. So I go to the bathroom. It's better just to show you than to explain what my hair looked like. But it was trash. Complete and utter trash. Like, let me show you right now.
No, 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 no. Oh, no. No, 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 no.
Sis, why they do me like that? Like, I lost a complete forehead. Like, I only had 2 fingers worth of forehead. Like, my eyebrows were all up in it almost. I was like, where'd my forehead go? Like, she pulled a magic trick and made my forehead go missing. Like, I don't get it. I looked in the mirror and I wanted to cry. I wanted to like cry real tears of like sadness and depression and I just wanted it off my head. I was so sad. So me being the quiet introvert person I am, I come back out and I'm just kind of like, I already complained about it once. She said she fixed it. She said I have hair on my forehead, so she clearly can't make it go up to a normal look. So I'm just like, I give her the money. I give her $199 for that, for what I just showed you, that work. And so I get in the car and I'm like, Amber, why did you let her do me like that? Like, why didn't you like ask? Why didn't you say something? Like, clearly my forehead's not this big. Like, I don't understand. I have a 5 head. She put it down to 2. Like, why would you let me go out looking like that? And she's like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for. Like, I don't get weave. I'm white. And I'm like, that was my first mistake. So I get home and my dad's calling me. He's like, hey, how does it look? How does it look? Because this is the first time we tried this girl. So we all are like curious. Like, okay, is she good? Like, I've seen the work on Instagram. Does it match like what she can actually produce? I get home and I don't think my mother's ever laughed as hard as she laughed the day she saw me walk in the door. Like, she busted a gut on my hairstyle. And my dad told me I look like something off Planet of the Apes. And he was right, because I looked like a freaking ape. Like, my hairline was just disappeared. Like, it was all glued down to my forehead. It hurt to move my forehead. Like, I couldn't go up and down with my eyebrows because the frontal would just go with it. Like, when I said the frontal was glued to my skin, it was glued to my skin right here. And so it was like so irritated. I'm like, if I sneeze, it's a wrap. Like, my skin is coming off with the frontal. Like, y'all saw, like, this is not okay. Long story short, I didn't say anything to Felicia because I was just like, I don't know her from Adam. I don't know what you know, like, you don't know people, so you just don't want to like push buttons or like say something that's gonna like aggravate them or whatever. But I got my hair redone that very next day. My mom called in a friend and they took out my tracks, and just the process of that was just horrible because it was so sticky, and she didn't even sew in my tracks right. Like, my friend legit pulled out the tracks just with one little grab because they were just stitched, like one stitch here, one stitch here, one stitch there. That explains why she got done so fast with the stitching, because it was just like messy. It wasn't like a continuous stitch that's gonna like actually hold my hair when it gets pulled. So tracks were literally getting pulled out just by like a tiny little, and it was gone. The frontal was like sticky. It took so long to get that got to be glued out of my hair, and it was just all up in my edges, and I just was like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my edges. Like, there'll be no more baby hairs for Kayla after this. Like, this is just crazy. So long story short, guys, don't get frontals done from people you don't know and you haven't like seen their process of work done before. And if you get any sketch vibes, just leave. Like, don't be afraid to say something, because my dumb self was afraid to speak up, and it cost my parents like a $600 ordeal because of the install, and then having to pay somebody else to take it out and reinstall it. And then comes to find out, she put my frontal on backwards. It was a 360 frontal, and she put the back on the top of my head and the top on the back. So all around, it was just a terrible experience. That was my first frontal. I got more after that, but by right people. I got it done by the right people. So now it's all Gucci. Yeah, so my little advice to you guys is watch what you see on Instagram. It might look good in that 30-second video clip, but the actual process of it might be completely different. Don't trust everything you see or hear. Don't be afraid to speak up. Take the right people to your hair appointments. And if you feel like it's sketch, say bye, Felicia, because that's what I should have did. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time of my first frontal experience. It was a horror story. It was terrible, but you know, you live and you learn. I hope you guys liked this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm on Christmas break for 3 weeks, so I'll be back with you guys with more videos about different things. Like, I don't know, we'll figure it out as we go along. But I'm Kayla, and I'm out. Peace out.